Hi everybody, thanks for joining me for this talk on anxiety and the body. So yeah, over the course of this short video, I hope to share with you some of my ideas about anxiety. And I would also like to introduce you to some exercises that will involve humming and becoming aware of vibration in the body. So yeah, let's start at the beginning. So anxiety. So what is anxiety? I don't really want to, the purpose of this video is not to, get into understanding the whole mechanisms of what anxiety is and what causes it, but rather to focus on a very specific aspect or a part of anxiety. So for most of us who know anything at all about anxiety, we know that there is a physical symptom. And those physical symptoms include things like a beating heart, a pounding heart, tightness in the chest, a tightness in the throat, a feeling like I'm going to die, or a feeling like I'm going to go crazy. All of these physical symptoms are often experienced as out of control, things that I can't control. And this sometimes perpetuates the anxiety because when we're in the throes of anxiety, we get into this cycle of trying to control the particular physical symptom, and feeling unable to control it contributes or perpetuates the feeling of anxiety. We get more scared. So for any of us who have experienced anxiety ourselves, who have worked with anxiety or know of people who suffer with anxiety, those physical symptoms will be quite familiar to you. So that is the aspect of anxiety that I would like to share ideas around today. And then what about the body? So I am a singer as well as a psychotherapist and a PCI college lecturer. And I have been singing all of my life. However, maybe 8 or 9 years ago, I was introduced to a particular kind of singing. And it was songs from a country called Georgia. And when I started to learn that repertoire, I also started to learn a little bit more about my own voice. And I met a vocal coach by the name of Frank Kane, and he is an American living in Paris for decades now. And he is I think it's really important that I mention him at this point, because a lot of the exercises that I'm going to be introducing here are exercises that I have learned from Frank. However, the context in which I learned them from Frank was around vocal coaching. So Frank has developed a system or an approach to working with the voice of singers that includes exercises that help to build awareness of vibration in the body. So I wanted to mention that from here. So the context of singing is not one I'll be using here. However, these exercises I did learn and was first introduced to them within that context by Frank Kane. So the body, what did I learn at that point about the body that was of interest to me as a psychotherapist? It was hugely to do with how the condition of my body, or of what is going on in my body, directly affects how I sing or how I produce sound. And over a very short period of time, I realized that I could actually feel, when I was singing, I could feel more physical restrictions or contractions in my body than I would have if I wasn't making sound, for example. So that really interested me, because I also started to realize that, when I was feeling sad, or when I was feeling anxious, or maybe when I was worried about something, that my sound was different, because the vibration in my body was affected by how I was feeling and how I was thinking, and maybe how I was standing, or So that was really interesting to me as a psychotherapist, and as somebody who was very familiar both personally and professionally with anxiety. What brought me to, to link the two together, these tools that I was learning as a singer and my practice as a psychotherapist, and indeed my own daily practice, what brought those things together for me was that I saw noticeable improvements. And when I shared these ideas with my clients, they also experienced improvements. And some of them have reported to me over the years that despite feeling that anxiety can often be an uncontrollable emotion, that using these exercises can give them some sense of being able to influence the physical impact, which for them at times is the most debilitating aspect of anxiety, the physical symptoms or the physical impact. So I would like to introduce you to a little bit of knowledge, or to give you some understanding of the body itself and indeed the larynx. So the body is made up of different systems, as we know. So there's the central nervous system, our brain, and the nerve endings and the nerve system that runs all through the body, right? It's also a musculature and a tissue system. So we've got our muscles that are attached to our bones, and our skeleton is in there too. And we also have our cognitive processes, so our thinking and our feeling and our ideas and beliefs, and our understanding about certain things, and our memories. And so we are systemic. The body is a system, and every single action that's carried out either of the body or within the body is affected by the total system, or the total system is affected by it. So for example, when we are confronted with a big scary tiger, and our brain tells us that that is a dangerous situation, our body responds to that. So something happens within the body. Sometimes it mobilizes itself to move or to run away, or it gets really frightened and it stays, it hunkers down, it gets, as they would refer to it, as it freezes. So the body, all of these systems work in collaboration, in cooperation, to help us function. So this larynx that we spoke about a few minutes ago, this is also part of this system. It's attached to the musculature. How we think, how we feel also impacts on this particular organ of the body, because it is an organ. It's the vocal mechanism, and whatever is happening everywhere else in the body impacts how this resonates, so how we produce sound. So I am going to introduce you to 3 or 4 exercises that hopefully will give you a tool to explore your body through vibration awareness. So the exercises that I'm going to introduce you to, I would encourage you that after this video, so after you've tried them out, if you would then take them away into your day-to-day life and use them in different situations. So for example, if you're somebody who does suffer from anxiety, I would encourage you to use these exercises the next time you notice those physical symptoms arising. Okay, so the first exercise I want to invite you to do is, I want you to take your hand, or fingers actually, let's do something gentle. Take your fingers and put them on 2 sides of the throat. And I would like you to inhale, and on the exhale, make a humming sound and just feel what it's like. So I'll just do a demonstration and you can try it quickly along with me if you like. So inhaling, exhaling and humming. So just notice for yourself, what were you aware of as you've done that. You could do that a few times over. You don't have to just do it once off. If you're practicing that on your own, and very much what I do as part of my daily practices, I would spend a couple of minutes, maybe 10 minutes in the morning, doing that particular variation of the exercise, and see how it feels. Build your awareness of what it feels like. So for example, in that particular exercise, I became aware of the vibration in the tips of my fingers, as they touched my larynx, which was resonating. Okay, so exercise number 2. This time I'm going to ask you to take your hand, the palm of your hand, and place it on your chest. So preferably close to the clavicle. So this is the clavicle bone here. And why am I asking you to do that? Because bones are more conductors, or not more, but they are stronger conductors of body vibration than just muscle. So I'm going to ask you to place your hand here and do the same thing again. Inhale, take a deep breath, and on the exhale, hum, and just get a sense of what that feels like. Okay, get the idea? Okay, so the third exercise I want to introduce you to is this time taking 2 hands, placing one on the chest and one maybe on the cheek. Yeah? And the same again. So inhaling and then on the exhale, humming and noticing what it feels like. Maybe changing over if you like. Okay, get the idea? So again, just noticing what you became aware of. And for me, I became aware the first time around that I was more aware of the vibration in my hand as I made contact with my cheek, and a little bit less aware of vibration in my chest. So I changed to see, was that any different? Just because I was curious, just to see, was it the same? Yeah, so just note for yourself what you feel. And now I'm going to actually introduce one last exercise, because this time I would like you to put an intention inside, the idea of intention. This time, or I would invite you to do the same exercise. However, if you, for example, so the same exercise with 2 hands, and if, like me, for example, you were able to feel some vibration in one part of the body that you made contact with, but not in the other, I would like you to imagine this time that the area in which you can feel the vibration is actually gently sending that vibration through the part of the body that you're connected to it by, and down into the area where you are feeling like you're not so resonant, or that the vibration is not so strong. Yeah, so kind of sending that vibration into that area. Yeah? So shall we try it and just see how it goes? Just as a demonstration. Okay, so again, just noticing what that was like for you. What did you notice was different that time with the intention? And I just wanted to outline that there isn't a right or a wrong thing to feel or to experience. These exercises are really explorative, and they're ways for you to get better acquainted or connected to your body. So for example, in times of anxiety, we tend to focus on just one particular part of the body, most likely the part of the body that's reacting or responding with the anxiety. So we might connect to just the beating of the heart, or we might connect to just the sense of the throat tightening, or we might just get caught up in the thoughts. So using these kind of exercises to help us to explore other parts of the body and build awareness of other parts of the body helps us to actually, I guess, move out of the contractedness that we experience in anxiety of just focusing in on the symptom, or the part of us that's symptomatic, and losing sight of the whole, which is kind of counterproductive to anxiety, as many of you will already know. So yeah, I'm excited, and this is, as I said, this is different to me to be doing this by video. I would really love to know how you get on and what kind of things you discover as you tried those exercises, but that's not really possible in this world of social distancing and virtual sharing of ideas and exercises. So yeah, I am excited at the idea of some of you trying out those exercises and discovering new things. So yeah, I would encourage you to continue on with it. And as I said at the beginning, if you do like the video, don't forget to comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And yeah, be creative with your practice, with your exercises, so you can introduce new pieces to yourself. So for example, you can make contact with different parts of the body and see how they're resonating, and see how can you actually encourage vibration, including movements and stuff. What impact does that have on how your body resonates? So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed my video, and I hope that you enjoy the exploration, because I know I certainly do. It's a huge part of my life, and I wish you all the best during these uncertain times. And I wish you fun, and I wish that you can enjoy and make the most of your time in isolation. So thanks for joining me. All the best.